as well.
Well, I mean, he got to a point where he could sing again and he was able to do some touring, but then things kind of started going in the other direction. A lot like what he was talking about when you have an injury and you start compensating, like if a runner hurts their leg, then the next thing you know they've got a hip that's. So what kept happening is that he would get back to where he could sing enough to tour, but then he would get out there, and because of the way that he was doing it, he kept having injuries like swollen blood vessels and even a hemorrhage.
Yeah, I forgot about that part of it. Because of the weakness, over the years I've had six surgeries or seven, six I think. 6 surgeries to basically, not to deal with the root problem because that can't be, but to deal with collateral damage because it's so difficult to sing and so much stress is put on the vocal cords that I've hemorrhaged my vocal cords probably 3 times that have to be repaired by laser. One time, what she was saying, the vessels were so blown up at the end of the tour, they were about to pop, like a lot of them.
We went straight to Boston.
And we went straight up to Boston, to Harvard, to a specialist there, and he had this laser that no one else has where he was able to kind of dial them out before they went. So it puts a lot of stress on the voice, and even the tours, like Savannah mentioned, where I kind of got to the point where it's like, okay, I can tour again at least and get out there. And I would tour, it never really felt the same, and I was always on the edge every night. I'd wake up the next day, it's like, man, am I gonna have a voice? Because I've really had to push it to get through. And just living like that really starts to wear on you. But at the same time, I still wanted to be out there doing what I love to do. So, but yeah, 6 surgeries to repair the damage.
And one experimental one.
And yeah, one experimental one.
Because with the situation with the paresis, at one time there was one set of doctors, because it affects the closure of the cords. So there was actually a procedure that they could do where they inject collagen to the side of the vocal cord, not actually into the vocal cord, but to the tissue on the side of it, which actually moves it in just a little bit.
Kind of give you a leg up.
So basically by moving the vocal cord in just this much, it makes that little gap where that side couldn't close. Well, so that was in theory. And we kind of went into that with the worst case scenario because they described it as collagen, like what a woman would put in her lips. So worst case scenario, best case scenario, this is something that changes your life for the better. And worst case scenario, in 3 months, it's gone. And, you aren't any worse for the wear.
And if you like the effect of it, you would keep.
You could continue to do it.